Bum,
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 bum.
bum. Ring.
Hey, everybody. Waiting for my
Hey,
text.
everybody.
Waiting for my
Hi,
text.
Dr. Nick.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
Nick.
There we are. Welcome to the Blue Review presented by LAX on a Tuesday morning. I'm Marcus Grant. That is Greg Bergman. We're a little bit loopy here, so please bear with us. How are we feeling on this Tuesday, Greg?
Feeling good. Kind of a little bit behind on everywhere. I'm trying something different so I don't look like I'm going to tell you to hold on, please, while I take another phone call. This seems to be working a little bit better as long as the sound is okay, but I'm feeling good. How are you feeling?
Feeling good, man. The U.S., we know they're playing Venezuela, which, that's going to be tonight in the World Baseball Classic final. Probably some nervous time there because that Venezuelan lineup is very, very good. Don't know if they're pitching matches, but their offense is very good. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, who is pitching? I saw who was
Nolan
pitching.
McLean is pitching for the United States. I don't know who's pitching for Venezuela.
I do. It's Eduardo Rodriguez, and
Okay.
Eduardo Rodriguez is the guy a couple of years ago that the Dodgers traded for from Detroit, and he said, "You know what? Nah, I don't want to do that." It was in 2023. The Dodgers obviously didn't win that year, but they traded for him. He said, "No, family reasons. I don't want to come to the Dodgers." And then fast forward 2 years later, they're back-to-back champions, and he's on the Diamondbacks.
Well,
family reasons doesn't want to come to LA. Okay.
I was gonna make a Fast and Furious joke in there somewhere, but I don't know if I got one.
So Will Smith needs to smack around Eduardo Rodriguez is what I'm trying to say.
I'd be fine with that. I would be absolutely fine with that. Now, I hope he's getting the start over Cal Raleigh. I don't know if they've put out a lineup yet, if Mark Rose has done that yet. But
doesn't look like the lineup is out just yet from anything I see.
Yeah.
But don't know.
So we'll talk a little bit about that later on in the show. First thing, though, I want to let you know that the Blue Review is powered by LAX. We're taking off. Learn more about all the incredible changes happening now at LAX by going to lawa.org/ESPN. Hey, but how about we start with the 10 minutes of terror we all had yesterday afternoon when Evan Drellich put out a tweet saying that Miguel Rojas was suspended for 80 games for performance-enhancing substances. And we all started wringing our hands and furrowing our brows and saying, oh, what's going to happen? And poor Miggy Rowe. Only for the report to come out, maybe 10, 15 minutes later?
Maybe.
That it is not Miguel Rojas of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Instead, it is Johan Rojas of the Philadelphia Phillies, who has been suspended for 80 games. So, that, I guess. I mean, it's just a huge swing and a miss. I mean, that is a thing that, if you're talking about suspensions and PEDs and that feels like a thing that you're going to just fact check a bunch of times instead of rushing to tweet out. But apparently Evan Drellich did not take the time and the care to absolutely double, triple, quadruple check what it was. There it is. The original tweet that has since been deleted, but Greg, the internet is written in permanent ink. Like, you just, whatever you tweet is going to be out there because somebody's going to screenshot that thing.
Yeah, so that's going to be there. If I'm writing that tweet, first of all, he just said Rojas. Oh, it has to be Miguel Rojas.
I'm sure that's what it was. I'm sure that's exactly what it was.
That's the first and only Rojas that has ever played Major League Baseball and has ever been a Rojas just in general. But if I'm writing that, the first thing I do is go, okay, Miguel Rojas. Then first, it's not even the right team. Like if you want of the Los Angeles Dodgers, he just saw Rojas. So to me, these are mistakes that writers make that make it so you don't trust them. There are certain writers, John Heyman, that I do not trust in the slightest. And these are the types of things that make me go, well, if you're not going to pay attention to what you write, am I going to trust you? Now, Evan Drellich is a great writer for The Athletic, and he's always been somebody that when I see a tweet from him, oh, that's real, that's what it is. It's now going to be, if I see an Evan Drellich breaking news thing, I'm like, I'll wait for Passan. Like, there's only certain Ken Rosenthal. I'll listen to Ken Rosenthal. Jeff Passan. I'll listen to Jeff Passan. Drellich was one of those, and now I'll wait for Rosenthal to pass him.
Yeah, I mean it's just a huge swing and a miss. So obviously he's going to have to sort of pay there's no actual physical penalty, but I think that loss of trust is a big penalty that he's going to have to pay just for making that mistake. So the good news is Miguel Rojas is not suspended. So when it's all said and done, the Dodgers will have their utility veteran infielder with them for the start of the season, and that is a good thing. So
it will not be Johan Rojas of the Phillies because he's suspended for 80 games. What's crazy too is that this news came out like weeks ago, and the suspension finally came down. So even that part is even worse.
So even more reason that you didn't. How did you? I don't know. But
again, there's only been one Rojas in the history of Rojas.
In all of Major League Baseball, in the 100 plus years or whatever of Major League Baseball, just only one guy named Rojas has ever played.
There's only been one. It's been Miggy Ro.
That's it. The only one.
Also, I was thinking about it too. Like, why would Miguel Rojas always start taking banned substances in his final year
at his big age? As they say on the internet, why now? We were talking about it because when the news broke, I mean, you saw me walking into the studio for Super Crosstalk.
Marcus,
right, with Super Crosstalk, and as I was sitting down, John Ireland was reading the tweet, and Mace got upset, and there's a lot of just people kind of head shaking. The question did come up though. Let's hypothetically say this was true. Would this have changed how you felt about the home run in 2025?
No, it happened.
Yeah, okay. That's where I was too. But
now, if it was Vladdy who hit that home run, would I feel different because it's not a Dodger?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a fair question. Like Ryan Braun, I feel stole a MVP from Matt Kemp because he was taking performance-enhancing drugs.
Mm-hmm.
If it was Matt Kemp that stole it from Ryan Braun, would I feel the same way? I don't know. But no, it wouldn't.
Yeah. Here's the. I think if it were the other, like, let's use the Ryan Braun, Matt Kemp example. I think you would have felt maybe a little bit of something about it, but you would have been like, oh, well, it happened. I think that's kind of where it is. Like, maybe somewhere in your gut, you'd have been like, that's a little bit, but you know what? Hey, man, he's our guy. So, congrats on the MVP win. So
I watched all those home runs. I watched all those runs batted in. It had nothing to do with it. And then Ryan Braun, those were all fake. Those were all cheats. It just, we make it sound like we want it to sound, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. So anyway, look forward to seeing you, Miggy Rowe. 2025, nobody can ever take away from you. That home run is still one of the greatest swings in not just Dodger history, but one of the most amazing swings in baseball history because nobody saw it coming. Ever.
Nope. Somebody that was not supposed to do it in the top of the 10th inning or the 11th inning.
Mm-hmm.
11th inning, right? I don't know. No. It was the top of the 9th inning.
Top of the 9th inning,
down one, to tie the game.
Top of the 9th inning with Shohei on deck. Everybody was like, hey, man, let's see what happens with Shohei. I mean, that was the expectation. Shohei's coming to the plate with a chance to tie it. Instead, Miguel Rojas is the guy who gets it done. Baseball is weird like that.
Yeah, multiple plays too. I know I keep stepping on you. Like he had the play with that got to Will Smith at home.
Yeah.
He had IKF out. He had a very, very big series.
Very eventful series for a guy that wasn't even expecting to play all that much.
No, and then he wasn't important.
And ended up being really important. I became important at work suddenly, and it's ruining my life. So let's actually get back to current days. Living in the past is great, but the news came down, and not really a surprise that Yoshinobu Yamamoto is going to be the opening day starter. I'm gonna say, is it the right call? It's an easy call, right? If you're Dave Roberts, it seems like there's really no other option than having Yoshi be your opening day starter, right?
Yeah, I don't even know who else you would go to. I mean, it would be Glasnow. No, probably not. It's definitely not going to be Roki. Shohei's not going to be ready yet. Gavin Stone. I mean, no. I don't. Yoshi is and also like he deserves it. Yoshinobu Yamamoto has been nothing but amazing since he's been with the Dodgers. He had one of the greatest, most epic runs in postseason history last year. It's like on the level of Madison Bumgarner, who I hate to say that with, but he also did similar type things. Yeah. So that was what he he did was phenomenal. So he 100% deserves it. And he's also the guy that I look at now when you look at the pitching staff. I'm like, that's the dude right there. That's your ace number one all the way through. You have like 5 number ones, but it's Yoshi. Yoshi is the straight up number one starter to me.
Yeah, he absolutely is. So I saw this yesterday that when he takes the ball on opening day and throws the first pitch, he will become just the second pitcher in Dodger history to throw the final pitch in the World Series one season, and then the first pitch of the season the following season. The other being Sandy Koufax, who finished out the World Series, I believe it was 1965 with his complete game in Game 7, and then started opening day the next year. And I said that, and Travis immediately was like, well, it's not Oral Hershiser. So I went and looked. It is not, because Hershiser did get the final out in 1988.
Yeah.
But it was Tim Belcher who started opening day in 1989.
Really?
Yes. I believe, I don't know if Hershiser was sort of rehabbing something, but yeah, Tim Belcher was the opening day starter in 1989.
That's wild.
Hershiser started Game 2, so he wasn't hurt. He just wasn't the opening day guy.
I was going to say maybe he was kind of like Blake Snell, and he was just tired from how long the postseason was, and just needed a little extra time. But wow, started Game 2. Interesting. Yeah. That's a really good nugget. I'm going to use that today on the radio.
There you go. It is yours. So Yoshi kind of making a little bit of Dodger history here as finishing out the World Series, and then he will start Game 1 of the following season. So there it is. So then I guess that begs the question: who does pitch game number? If Oral Hershiser pitched game number 2 in 1989, who pitches game number 2 in 2026? Is it Tyler Glasnow at this point? No Snell. I would guess it's Glasnow.
Yeah, I would have to go with Glasnow at that point. I mean, who else? We just were kind of running through it a little bit. It's not going to be Roki. It's not going to be River Ryan. It's not going to be Sheehan. It's not going to be Emmett Sheehan. Blake Snell's not going to be ready. There just really isn't another option. Not that Glasnow's not worthy of that number 2 spot. It's just that there isn't even anybody to fight him on it, I don't think. So, yeah, who else? I mean, I don't know who else could. Which really, then, when you start to think about it in your mind, like we keep talking about how great this pitching staff is,
and you're like,
how deep it is. You're like, well, is it that deep at the beginning of the season?
And 29 other teams are saying, "Shut up."
Right. Your number 7 guy is our number 1 guy. Okay.
Right. Exactly. So, so there it is. We get Yoshi Game 1, probably Glasnow in Game 2. And I guess the good news is, and we've talked about this before, the way the schedule sets up in the first month or so, you can sort of get away without a 6th starter. We'll see them kind of go 5 guys. Did see, as Jeff Spiegel intimated on Monday's show, we will see Shohei probably pitch in the spring now that he is back. The expectation is he's going to pitch in the spring. So right now, I presume is he your number 3 starter right now as of opening day?
I mean, if he's ready, he's going to be the 3-4 innings. So yeah, he is to me. I mean, and also I hate saying it. I probably say it at the beginning. These games aren't like the most important games. Mm-hmm. It's important for the standings at the end of the year. I totally get that. But at the same time, like if he only goes 3-4 innings and he, they don't win those games, we're not going to look back and be like, oh my God, we didn't make the playoffs because of that game. So if they don't make the playoffs, something went horribly wrong. So him going 3-4 innings and kind of, straining the bullpen just a little bit, you're going to kind of live with it and be okay with it. But also, yeah, he's the number 3. And I think by the end of the season, he's probably going to be the number 2 starter.
I don't know. I still think that's probably Snell. When you get a healthy Snell,
maybe.
I think he's probably your number 2 guy. And then, Shohei's 3 with Glasnow at 4, and then you figure Sheehan at 5, Roki at 6 when it gets to that point. Or who knows? By the time that all happens, then River Ryan could. Look, there's so many combinations and permutations, right? River Ryan could be here. We know that some guys are going to get the old phantom IL stint probably, just because that's sort of how things work. So
Yeah,
it's a good problem to have, is what I'm
it
saying.
is. Yeah, Gavin Stone's going to be 2 months away from even starting to get back on. He's going to be back on the mound within a month, and then he's going to take at least another month. So he's about 2 months away. But also, like Shohei, he wants the whole narrative at the beginning of the season is that he wants the Cy Young, and if Shohei wants something, he typically goes out and does that thing and gets it. So if he wants to be the number one starter, he can turn himself into the number one starter. But to your point, all the 29 other teams being like, shut up.
Do you worry? You talk about the Shohei maybe going 3 or 4 innings, and maybe they the bullpen has to stretch out a little bit early in the season. Do you worry about a repeat of last year? Because that ended up being a problem. Obviously, they were able to navigate through it and win a World Series, but we saw so much of the bullpen. I mean, they were the leader in bullpen innings by a mile midway through the season. Any concern that we might have a redo of that this year?
So yes, there is a concern, but at the same time, this team specifically is built to kind of hold that off. Look what they did last year. They had that whole narrative, and all they did was like, let's just take our starters and put them in. They're fine. They'll be our bullpen. We'll use Roki as the closer. We'll use Emmett Sheehan as a long reliever. We'll use Justin Robleski. It was a little bit terrifying at times, but the fact is that they can withstand that. And also because they have so many guys now in the bullpen as well, which is extremely volatile, as we always say. But I feel like it's going to be a much better season for that. I think Tanner Scott has a bounce back. I think Blake Trinan has a bit of a bounce back. Edwin Diaz is obviously going to be really good. You still have Kasparius and Dreyer and Henriquez. Like they are pretty deep. And then you're going to find some random dude that you never heard. Like, who is this guy? Ronan Kopp coming all the way up. And he's just like throwing darts not over and over again. It's just they have an embarrassment of riches right now. So I'm not too worried, but I always worry about bullpen just in general.
I'm looking in the chat here. Bubba Holmberg says, confirmed. Marcus Grant says Yamamoto is better than Sandy Koufax. I didn't say that. I guess I didn't not say that, but I also didn't say that. So,
I don't even know how you just said since Sandy Koufax. I don't even know where that one. This isn't like Aaron Judge stinks,
but whatever. I'm a for a good laugh in the morning, so that's fine. I back to your bullpen stuff though. I do think there's more depth. It feels like there's more depth this year. I also think part of it is, and this I have no proof, no statistics, no anything to back it up other than just my gut feeling. I think Tanner Scott's going to be better this year. I hope Blake Trinan is going to be better this year. At some point we're going to see Evan Phillips back. So it does feel like there are more options, more weapons coming out of that bullpen than we had last year, because, by the time we got to August, it was, we were watching Tanner Scott like it was a horror film, man. It was just like you putting your fingers in your face and just trying to kind of peek through your fingers and stuff and hope nothing goes bad. I mean, nothing I think was worse. I think if you were to point out a rock bottom moment last season, it was the Baltimore game. You know which one I'm talking about.
Oh God, yeah, of course I know what you're talking about.
You know which one I'm talking about.
Goes 8 2/3, and then they couldn't get one out.
I mean, it's like, okay, he gives up the home run with Jackson Holiday, I think it was, and you're like, okay, well, that's unfortunate, but man, a great game. Let's just lock this. Let's get this last out and lock it down. And no, it didn't happen.
Tanner Scott couldn't do anything. Blake Trinan couldn't do anything. That was just that was very much rock bottom. And I felt so bad for Yoshi because he was was it Pajes that was in the outfield? Like he had a chance at catching that ball if he actually jumped up for it, but he just kind of let it bounce off the wall. And that's when the wheels just totally fell off.
Yeah. So that was maybe the worst moment, I think, of the season for the Dodgers last year. And that was the moment when it was like, Tanner Scott can't see the field again. And I think he might have had a couple of outings after that, but it wasn't very many. And at that point, they started kind of rebuilding the bullpen. So,
and then he never even made the roster. And so far this year, he has a 0 ERA. He has given up 2 runs, but I don't know how they weren't earned. But 5.1 innings, he's given up 3 hits. 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, 0 ERA in 6 games.
All right. I mean, that's improvement.
If that's a sign, I know your preseason stats don't really mean much of anything, especially with a little over a week and a half left. But that's encouraging. That makes you think like, okay, maybe he's back to the guy that he was. We'll see. Obviously, it's going to matter what happens when he does in the regular season. But yeah. I feel good about him. He was one of the best closers in the game. Like he was nearly untouchable. He was the Shohei kryptonite, and then to be so bad, you have to assume he's going to be better this year.
You have to assume he's going to be better for sure. Speaking of preseason stats and spring training stats not counting, Laura, there's a reason we're not talking about that 24-9 game that happened yesterday against the Brewers because it doesn't count. It doesn't matter.
It means nothing.
It means nothing.
Although the guys in the bullpen did not. It was a bunch of guys that we don't know, but there was also some guys that we do know that did not pitch all that well.
Trinan did not have a great day yesterday. Jack Dreyer had a really awful day yesterday.
Yeah. But Max Muncy hit a home run, and Teo hit a 3-run home run, and so that makes you feel better.
Both Max Muncy's hit home runs, by the way, yesterday
in the same game.
That's wonderful. Not in the same game, but in the same inning of their respective games, wherever they were.
They weren't playing the A's. That's right.
They were not playing the A's, but both Max Muncy's homered yesterday in the 4th inning.
Yeah. And also Tyler Glasnow. Yeah. I wish he was in the same game. Tyler Glasnow pitched well. So through 4 innings, he had given up no runs, and he had like 5 or 6 strikeouts. And then in the 5th inning, he didn't get through 5. So that's when he started to give up a couple of runs. But he was looking good prior to that. But that's always been kind of Glasnow's thing. He's untouchable for like 4 innings. And then you're like, whoa, who's this guy?
Yeah. The other thing we just hope is Tyler Glasnow, just that lock-in mentality, and that there's no rain in Philadelphia or anything like that. It's kind of what we're hoping for this year for Glasnow. Real quick, Laura saying, I believe in Tanner's improvement. No to Trinan. Don't believe Trinan bounces back. I mean, I hope he does because he's going to be on this roster and he's going to pitch. So I hope he's able to bounce back.
I'm going to look at the stats real fast, but Blake Trinan in his career is a up and down guy. I mean, since early in the 2017s, so 2017, 2018, he is a up and down. So here, 2015, 3.8 with the Nationals. Then the next year, 2.2 with the Nationals ERA. 2017, 5.7 with the Nationals. When he got traded, 2.13. So then that's 2018, 0.78, 491, 386, 199. Then he was 1.8. Like he goes boom, boom, boom. He bounces up, down, up, down, up, down. 2022 is 1.8. He didn't pitch at all in 2023. 2024, he was 193. Then last year, 5.4. He goes at very high, like up, down at a very, very high level. So if this pattern continues, the 5.4 last year means that he's going to have like a 1.2 ERA this year. So those kinds of things that just looking at, just because it's happened every year of his career, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good. It's pretty amazing. So I believe in Trinan for that matter.
All right, so hopefully that means we get the good Blake Trinan coming in 2026. So good spot for us to stop and get you ready for the Sedano and Cap Morning Extravaganza coming up next here on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. As always, appreciate everybody in the chat for hanging out with us. Shout out to Carlo for getting us up and on this morning. Real quick, when we wake up tomorrow morning, will the United States be champions of the World Baseball Classic?
Yes, they will. They will be the champions. I think the championship round was DR versus USA.
I agree. I think they get by Venezuela. Hopefully Nolan McLean does not blow up in the first couple of innings like he did against Italy. So we shall see. But I think the USA pulls it out in the end. So we will find out tonight, and we'll talk about it tomorrow, that and plenty more. So for Greg, I am Marcus. This has been the Blue Review presented by LAX. See you tomorrow morning, 6:30 to 6:55 here on the ESPN LA YouTube channel.
See ya.